happy Sunday morning, everybody. And I'm here today with our every other Sunday guest, Sterling.
Good morning,
And
everybody.
we
Great to
have
be
the
here.
questions. Thank you to Dan and to his lovely wife, Linda, who go through it and make sure they're not repeats, I guess.
Exactly. And yeah, just that the questions are viable. AirZF sometimes questions they would tell me have facts in them. They're maybe different or not in alignment with what's going on. So
Okay. And also we'll talk at the end how you can jump onto his channel. You're getting very popular, over 30,000 now.
oh, thanks. Yeah, no, it's
subscribers. So yeah.
We're giving away a free half-hour session every time we reach a new 1,000 level. Yeah, so
and people are really excited. They always tell me, "Oh, thank you for Sterling."
Yeah,
but nobody slides me any cash for it. No, I'm just kidding.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
There you go. Checks in the mail. Okay, here we go. Question number 1: will Germany and Europe as a whole suffer power outages this winter due to the Ukraine war? If so, how bad will it get?
And what time frame was that, by the way, that question?
This winter.
Oh, this winter. Yeah, there's some sporadic outages coming, but it looks like they'll both Germany and Europe will be able to support it from energy from other areas. So there's some sporadic problems coming, but they'll be managed. It looks like who's ever managing that on behalf of those areas of the world is kind of already thinking ahead, so of how they can kind of supplant energy problems. So they're gonna have a good plan. Mm-hmm.
That's good news.
Yeah.
How does the rest of this hurricane season look for South Floridians?
Well, nothing as bad as Ian, right? For the time being, right? But you know what's interesting? I do pick up something to be concerned about the very end of the year into January. Now, I know typically that's not hurricane season, but there's something there that concerns me. It's like a bad hurricane that comes up and kisses the coast, if you will. Sometimes they come up and they turn around. There's something there that around December, January that concerns me. So
with Florida?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. I always saw flooding. I always saw lots of flooding.
Yeah, well, that comes with the hurricane, that's for sure. But looks like it won't make major landfall, but it comes up very close.
Enough Florida, to cause flooding, yeah.
Yeah.
And right now there's one category 4 that's hitting Mexico.
Right. Yep.
So, okay. Will 46 pardon for marijuana crimes help or hurt midterms?
I get it'll help.
Okay.
It'll help. And by the way, whoever asked that question, they must be thinking about, I think the GOP is all about we're the law and order party, or so if you pardon all these people, that's not law and order. But what Biden's really doing is he's just trying to do a level set here on things that shouldn't be crimes or get closer to medicinal marijuana. So it's going to help him. It'll help.
Yeah, and also, marijuana. Dear God, don't give mercy. But the ones who did the horrible January 6th, that's okay.
Yeah.
I love looking at the stars and moon at night. It seems to ground and comfort me. Lately, though, I've noticed that I'm seeing what looks like beams of light coming down towards Earth. Is this from our ETs communicating with us, or am I seeing dimensional and/or other realms?
I get none of the above. So what I get is it's an optical effect, but it's not communication beams from UFOs or UAPs or anything like that. By the way, they're very distinctive when you see those. I mean, there's no second guessing. But whoever asked the question, for me, it's coming across as like an optical effect. With
like
moonlight
in the sky that
yeah.
Okay, I'm confused about medical for all. I thought that 15% corporate tax would help us to move towards medical for all people. Will we still have to wait 20 to 30 years before that happens? Well, the 15% doesn't happen until January.
Right, and that 15% minimum corporate tax on corporations making over $1 billion, that's going to help grease the skids for a lot of programs, including medical for all. But the way the person asked it, I don't see it successfully rolling out for, let's say, 10 years, for about a decade. It's going to take that long to get all the back end negotiations done with hospitals and pharmaceutical companies, and put it all together in a way that makes sense. And I'm assuming the person is asking the question regarding where it's like, Medicare or medical for all, like Australia has, right, or parts of Canada. Yeah.
Yep. When my mom was admitted to the hospital due to a heart issue, she dreamed that someone came to her and brought her a beautiful place and showed her a house. She was told it was a house she could live in if she chose to. But then that person brought her back to her hospital room and said he took the wrong person.
Mm.
What a terrible thing. The next day, my cousin visited my mom and saw that the nurse took the patient's name tag off from the hospital room opposite my mom's. That name was very similar to my mom's name. The nurse said that lady passed away last night. And also the name that was very similar to my mom's name. The nurse said that the lady passed away last night. Do you think it's true that a spirit will guide a soul in the afterlife after they pass? Did my mom's dreams something that actually happened and it wasn't just a dream?
Very multi-layered question there, but first off, guardian angels or birth angels, when they leave you on the other side, at least I've never experienced them making mistakes, so they don't grab the wrong person. So what I'm getting is this whole thing was highly coincidental. So with a lady across the hallway having a similar name, they were drawing too much inference from that. But it does appear it was a dream, a bit of an astral travel for her mother, the lady, but nothing about an angel or a guide taking the wrong person. No.
Right. And I also think that she might even been around them while this person was showing her new place.
Right.
So she witnessed it.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen on the other side. Wait, wrong person, got to send her back. Yeah.
We've heard many times that humans have free will. Is this unique to humans only? What about ETs, angels, and guides?
Everything in the universe has it. So free will, life paths give you guardrails around like your life path blueprint, but everybody's got a little free will to accelerate or decelerate through their life path or zigzag. Everything in the universe, angels, guides, ETs, humans. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, do you think something will happen in the war in Ukraine that will directly involve NATO that will end the war because of fear of nukes?
Again, a multi-layered question there. I do see Putin and Russia getting much more aggressive as we go forward here. I do see NATO getting more aggressive and setting up, the guardrails around what's going to happen. I don't see it coming to a head over, let's say, nuclear weapons, but I do see it coming to a head, NATO butting heads with Russia, and that will accelerate the end. It will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will the lawsuits challenging 46 student loan forgiveness program go anywhere?
A lot of stalling. It's going to bounce back and forth like a ping pong ball. So a lot of stalling. It's start stop start stop. In the end, it's all going to go through. But
Right,
a lot of
when I heard it, I said, "Whoopee!" That makes the students go out and vote.
Yeah, I mean they're just helping. GOP's just helping. Yeah.
Handing it right to them. Well, the law, okay, I'm concerned for the vicious media attention that Harry and Meghan are receiving. Also, it seems that the royal family has unfairly gained up against them. Will this ever change?
What I get on that is that you got a good year here at least where that's not going to change so much, whatever's happening with Harry and Meghan. But it looks like short term for King Charles for me. So it looks like when William gets in there, looks like that's when it all settles down. Okay. So maybe that's a broader answer than this person asked. But right. Looks like when Charles is out, William's in, starts to die down.
Okay. I've been a singer in bands for 50 years. At my very first gig, I was singing, can't turn this around. I got stuck. Sorry, you guys. I was singing blues called Mother Earth when all of a sudden I was in a field singing a different song. I went back to my body and I was well into my second verse of Mother Earth. What was that?
Did you say she was just starting her singing career at the beginning of that?
No, she said she's been singing for 50 years
Mhm.
at my very first gig.
That's what I thought when she was first starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What comes up for me about those were angels and guides moving into supporters saying you're on the track. And so little astral travel there, but that was really an enforcement from the universe saying, like, you go, girl. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I just got a cold chill when I said that.
Okay,
So
that sounds
that was a
wonderful.
reinforcement for her. That's what that was all about. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, when we pass over, do we carry grudges or stay angry about unresolved conflict? My sister passed away many years ago, and I've been to two psychics trying to reach her, and she will never come through. And I wonder if she is mad at me or is she unhappy with me? It breaks my heart to think that, but I don't understand why she doesn't want to come through and let me know she is all right.
Well, based on my experience, with my team, I don't ever see anybody holding grudges on the other
Never,
side.
not on the other side.
No. Secondly, I don't, it doesn't resonate with me that her sister didn't want to come through. So I guess I'll leave it there. I don't know who she's talking with or speaking with, but I would tell this person who asked the question, don't take that personally because your sister does want to come through. So,
Yeah, and it just could be the wrong psychic.
yeah, it has something to do with what's going on there in that situation, but not the sister on the other side. My experience is as soon as people cross over, they really get surrounded a lot of love. They understand completely, like you get complete understanding of your life path, what you went through. And so there's healing to be had there with the person that asked this question with the sister. It'll all come.
Is it really possible to take a course to learn to communicate with animals?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Animals communicate in the same way that guides and angels communicate, and family members on the other side. It all comes through the same communication channel. So learning how to even communicate with your guides and angels, you can learn how to communicate with animals.
I love it.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely.
Hi, Linda and Sterling. Will blue states stop giving tax dollars to red states?
No, I mean, not anytime soon, because it has a lot to do with politics and governmental policy, and nobody can take those broad sweeping steps and say, blue states can't support red states. Doesn't work that
Right,
way.
but like California makes a lot of money, New York, and part of the money goes to these red states to help support them.
That's still going to happen, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Three judges appointed by former president handed down an astonishing decision on Wednesday, effectively holding the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the federal agency charged with protecting consumers from a wide range of predatory activity by lenders and other financial services, is unconstitutional and must be stripped of its authority. Will they succeed in this?
I get that's all about funding for the group or how that group gets paid for. And if I'm not mistaken, I think all that was covered on what they used to call the Dodd-Frank law. So it looks to me like it's all going to move ahead. They are going to put the funding back in place for that bureau. So not to worry.
Not to worry. I see it being overturned.
Yeah, it looks like it's a fight to me over funding that bureau, which was guaranteed by the Dodd-Frank law.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's all going to go okay. Yeah.
A self-professed time traveler by the name of Eno Alaric from the year 2671 is warning us of the following events. Aliens will crash to Earth in a giant meteor on 12/8/23. On 11/30, the James Webb Telescope will locate a planet that is the mirror image of Earth. This year, an alien invasion. On 2/6/23, 4 teenagers will discover ancient rooms and a wormhole opening to other galaxies. A catastrophic 750-foot mega tsunami will hit the West Coast San Francisco area. Sterling, I'm interested to know whether this guy is really a time traveler, and can your guys confirm any of these events?
Give me his name again one more time.
The guy's name that's a time traveler is Eno Alaric, Alaric.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, what I'm getting is not a time traveler. I mean,
That's what I got
there are
too.
plenty of extraterrestrials around Earth right now. There are time travelers. There are real time travelers. Um, and and it looks to me like what I'm getting from my team at a high level here is this is some sort of a media stunt. So this is going across social media platforms, whether it's TikTok or something else. So it's a media stunt. So going, I think there were 4 or 5 observations there.
Alien
Don't,
invasion
yeah,
and all
no,
that stuff.
no extraterrestrials crashing to Earth. They will reveal themselves publicly by 2025, could be 2026, but you know, the public's going to know much more about them. It won't be so secret. There's no 750-foot tsunami coming to California. However, in 100 years, there's a nice tsunami coming to the West Coast of California, but something like 100 years out. I don't know. I think there were 4 or 5 things there. I'm not sure we just
Oh,
covered.
the teenagers discovering ancient rooms in
Worm,
a wormhole.
no, and in fact, the biggest wormhole around right now has already been discovered. It's on Skinwalker Ranch. It's like 400 feet high. So no teenagers discovering a new wormhole. No.
Also, they said aliens will crash to Earth in a giant meteor.
No.
Okay, this is
But that is a new Universal film coming out. So
maybe that's it.
that's what it is. It's in the movies. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, I saw that movie, but it's a little bloody, but I really laughed and I thought it was great with Brad Pitt.
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Did you guys see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet, but heard lots of reviews on it.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of like a Guy Ritchie film. Boom, boom, boom. It's that kind of energy. Okay, what happened to all the snow crabs in Alaska?
Global warming effects. They move to colder water. So it's a global warming effect.
Oh, because there was a bunch of ships, Chinese and Russian ships out there. They didn't steal them?
I'm not saying they didn't harvest some of them, but what my team's telling me is that I think there were millions of crabs that
Millions.
millions. And so they moved to warmer water due to global warming effect. I'm sorry, colder water. So wherever they were at was getting too warm. And so they migrated to much colder water.
That makes total sense.
Well, that's what my team's telling me.
That makes total sense. Because you wonder how they could get millions, how they could have cleaned it out. But they said now they're going to have to hold off and not crab for a couple of years.
No, because the crabs aren't in the area of Alaska where they had the crab festival, I guess is. So
okay. Hi, Sterling. I live in Alberta, and the Conservatives in the party have just elected a leader to replace the Premier of Alberta. She will be the Premier until the next election, that I believe is in May of next year. She wants to push for a Sovereignty Act so that Alberta doesn't follow directions from Ottawa. Will she be elected? And if so, she pushed for this act to happen.
Whoever the lady is they're talking about, I guess she just got put into place, and then there's an election coming up. They said May of next year. She's all conservative. I think, is that Danielle Smith? I think is her name. I'm sorry to say, it looks like she not only got in, right now, but in the next election, it looks like she's getting in. But it looks like she faces a lot of headwinds from all the conservative policy that she has. So it's gonna be a little bit of rough surfing there. You know what I mean?
That makes
looks
sense.
like she makes it into office, but then there's a lot of backlash against it. So she's not very successful and doesn't stay in. Looks like she gets replaced eventually. Yeah.
Okay, that's good news. Hi, Linda and Sterling. What impact will the midterms have on the stock market and the economy? Will things improve if the Dems take the Senate and the House, as predicted?
Yeah, it's going to be a good year past the midterms for everything to completely level out to get to what I call like pre-pandemic levels. So remember, a lot of worldwide factors involved, but it after the midterms, it puts it on a very good course correction. But then it takes a while for corporations and supply chains and all the things going on, hiring and restructuring of companies. So it's going to be a year, but the stock market's going to do okay. I'll go through some dips and valleys.
I know.
And then,
And we
yeah,
keep going back up, 700 points Friday.
right. It's a rodeo.
Yeah. But the United States is very lucky. We're much
Mhm.
better than a lot of places. And
Yeah.
developing things in our own country, that's
Mhm.
wonderful.
Yeah, and I think Biden put through the whole chip funding program, the billions of dollars to move all the chip manufacturing back onshore here, because we had a lot of it in Taiwan, like many countries do. Now it's going to take years for all those chip foundries to get built and installed, but things like that are really going to help our economy long term. Yeah.
That we don't depend on others. And just a quick
Mhm.
shout out. I see some sort of committee, this could be beginning of the new term, sitting down and really looking at gouging, price gouging by all these big companies. I see that as clear as day. I see them price, because a lot of them up the prices tremendously, but even if you have a lot of product, they're still leaving them up.
Yeah, you're referring to like the oil companies kind of thing?
Oil companies and even, food companies.
Hmm.
That's what I saw. Will CRISPR technology be able to stop people from having strokes in the future?
Well, yeah, I mean, CRISPR is going to be very helpful in what I'm going to call cardiovascular health and reducing the propensity for clots, blood clots. So in a 5 to 10 year range from where we are right now, there'll be good CRISPR medication for that. So in
Good.
that sense, it will help reduce strokes,
Wonderful.
cardiovascular health. Yeah, so it's going to help quite a bit. It won't stop it completely. We got a ways to go for that, but really reduce it. Yeah.
Okay. Has the current administration purged the Secret Service of all of the people who were helping 45 in the insurrection?
And that was purged.
Purged.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Yeah, no.
Merrick Garland had to get rid of some FBI because they,
Yeah, no, there for me, there's still a good 10 to 15% of that organization that's still very aligned to 45. So there's some more house cleaning coming up. But
okay,
the good news is that the majority now are completely aligned. I mean, they're aligned better with the administration. So there's more tattletaling going on. So people are getting identified much more easy. Yeah.
okay. Will there be a mass corporate layoff next year?
No, I do. There's a lot of corporate restructuring that's going to go on next year after the new administration's installed, right? Biden and what happens in the House and the Senate. So that's going to cause corporations to do some reorganization because right now, a lot of major corporations are waiting to see what the future holds, right?
Okay.
Now, if you have more certainty, now okay, now I'm going to build a longer term strategy next 4 or 5 years. So restructuring is going on. But the good news is that as many companies that restructure, people still be able to find jobs. So they may move from one corporation to the next
To
and
another
that
one,
kind of thing.
okay.
Yeah.
But
So
you don't see a lack of jobs.
I don't. And I would call it massive layoffs. I call it a lot of restructuring.
Restructuring, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Will there be oh, wait, I just said that. Why is the Saudi government trying to undermine 46?
Well, for entertainment purposes only, there's back end deals between 45 and the Saudi government. So there was exchanges of information. So 45 providing information to the Saudis. And so there's like a indebtedness factor going on here. And
Right.
that's why they've agreed to make it rougher. All this is going to come out very soon, but a lot of the documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago we're going to see where they all went.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
What is coming up for the next week?
Couple of things, and my team was talking this morning about this. We got some more escalation in Ukraine, so some much more aggression coming from Russia, and I see a ratchet up response from NATO. Just like weeks ago, I think they doubled the number of battleships in the sea. So there's a bit of a back and forth going on here between Russia and NATO. It's coming up this week. There's some sort of a cancer announcement coming up, like a breakthrough in a cancer development for animals and humans. There's something cancer related coming up is a breakthrough. They're also telling me this morning there's some space junk warning coming. Now, space junk comes up down all the time, but people get concerned when it's coming near populated areas. So some sort of a space junk warning coming up this week. Yeah, and they're just telling me now also some other sort of an announcement coming from King Charles. Now, this is interesting. It has something to do with the Prime Minister. Was it Liz Truss? Just stepped down this week, but for some reason, the King Charles has some sort of an announcement coming up regarding that. Whether he's going to try to sway a vote or sway who goes in there, something coming up from him related to the Prime Minister stepping down. So some involvement there.
Wow. And do your guides have a message for us?
Yeah, they do. Then the message for this week, they keep telling me, is kind of push the limits spiritually for yourself, like test the limits, because that's how kind of we all grow. It's almost like being an athlete, and you can run half a mile, then you run a mile, then you run 2 miles. So kind of push the limits spiritually, get in kind of the growth phase. That'll help you, and that'll help those around you. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yep. And don't watch the news on anything political. It'll just get you upset.
Right. Exactly.
Stay focused. So
Yep.
how do I'm going to post how to reach you, but some people don't have the right computers.
Right. So we do have a YouTube channel. Sterling Psychic Medium is our YouTube channel. You can find. And then if it needs to book a session with me, you just go to sterlingpsychicmedium.com and look for the book a session tab. It's real easy. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell you after we hang up. I got to ask you something about something else, but it doesn't have anything to do with our people.
No problem.
Okay. Well, you guys, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful Sunday.
Yeah. Thanks,
Go
everybody.
Niners.
All the best.
Okay.